Welcome, everyone, to the Creating Young Minds weekly recap. And on tonight's show, we will be talking about the Creating Young Minds Undiscovered League Week 23, also the season finale of the Lewisville Leopards season. So it has been a great time covering the Lewisville Leopards. Unfortunately, their season has ended. They did have two games this past last weekend. They did not end up making it into the playoffs, but on the positive side, there are some positive notes to get to. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on the BS3 radio group, also live on YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you can be on top of all of the content that BS3 Radio is putting out currently and putting out in the future. So let's get into the Creating Young Minds Undiscovered League Week 23. Also, we got some highlights on deck, so stay tuned for that. But we had a pretty good matchup. It was the Texas Bruins going up against the undiscovered team. I had a couple of new players, so that was really good to see. It's always, exciting to see the young talent and to see some new guys on the floor. I was pretty excited about it, as I'm sure a lot of you guys will be excited about it as well once I get to the actual recap and the highlights. So, it was a good back and forth. Top of game at halftime, it was 33-32. Great additions and new additions to the undiscovered team. Chris Alexander, that's definitely somebody to look out for. Also, DJ for the Bruins. Also, Preston Ragsdale getting a lot of run. He's also on the Lewisville Leopards team, but he's been able to get some good quality run. Also, Markel for the undiscovered team. I want to give a shout out to Ramon Tuck of the Texas Bruins. And those are a couple of the players. Also, let me back up. I apologize. Hopefully you guys had a good 4th of July, had a good weekend, had a nice 3-day weekend. Everybody's heading back to work tomorrow, but hopefully you have enjoyed your weekend and you are ready to go, ready to get back into the job. So if you look at the link down below, creatingyoungminds.uscreen.io is where you'll be able to check out future games. I'm not sure on where and when the Undiscovered League is going to be going on, but I'm sure they're going to have some more games. So make sure to tune in for that. And let's get to the highlight reel. Shout out to D-Lo, produced it. She does an amazing job when it comes to the highlights for the Lewisville Leopards, also for Creating Young Minds as an organization. So let's get to the highlights. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and I'll definitely give you a shout out. Here we go. All right, so those are some of the dope highlights from the Creating Young Minds Undiscovered League, week number 23. Got a lot of great players that also played throughout that game. And like I said, I'm sure they're going to have more games coming up. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on how that's going to go down. The link down below, creatingyoungminds.uscreen.io to watch future games. Let's get into the season finale of the Lewisville Leopards season. So they had 2 games last weekend. Like I said, they did not end up making it into the playoffs, but there are some positive notes. Number 1, Chase Winchester, the starting shooting guard for the Leopards. He was leading the TBL in steals with 2.4 on the season. He is in a 3-way tie. Also, Michael Lenore is first team all conference. That is a great thing. He had a great season, almost double-digit assists, double-digit points averaging on the season, and multiple steals. So continuing to do his thing. So like I said, there was 2 games from this last weekend. The first one was the Leopards playing against the, let me see, it was either the Houston, so the Dallas Skyline. That was the first game that they played in. Unfortunately, they did end up losing that game. That's unfortunate. They had to really win these last 2 games to have a chance to make it into the playoffs, and that did not end up working out. So Dallas won 106-96 over the Leopards. Let's get to the stat sheet, though, so you can see how each team did. Also, we got highlights. Jared Jetpack J. Henderson with 27 points. Michael Lenore with 22. I just brought up his name. First team all-conference. He also had 4 assists in that game. Jared had 11 rebounds in that game. Kendall Yancey with 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Also, Michael Lenore had 4 steals on the day. Let me bring that up. Austin Wire with 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. Chase Winchester with 8 points and 3 steals on the day. John Mouton, 8 points. Michael Vigilance, 6 points. I'm really looking forward to how and if he's going to be on the team next year, because that the impact that he had in a short amount of time was definitely beneficial. So I'm looking forward to how he's going to do. And then Gabe Hobbs with 2 on the day. Let's get to the highlights. Again, D-Lo produced it. You can go follow her on Instagram, also on Twitter. Does an amazing job. Let's get to the highlights. As you can see, a few highlights by Jared Henderson. He was the player of the game, 27 points, 11 rebounds. Let's go over to the Dallas Skyline side. Chandler Ellis with 26 points, George Brock with 19, Lyle Hexum with 19, Ricardo Artis with 16, Malachi Davison with 15. They had 5 guys in double digits. The Dallas Skyline team is extremely talented. Their season is also over. They did not make it into the playoffs. I will give you some info on who's in the playoffs in the TBL, which is the basketball league. You can check out some of the games right there down below, basketballleague.net. Also go to creatingyoungminds.org. That'll give you more information about the basketball league, which their playoffs is going on right now. So it is getting extremely exciting as they continue to march along. The Enid Outlaws play the Houston Push, two of the best teams in this league. They are coming out of the Central Conference. You also have San Jose playing the California, I'm not sure the team name exactly, but they'll be playing a game coming up here real soon, so they're in the playoffs as well. On the other side, you have the Kokomo Bobcats, and then you have the Indy Express, and then you have Syracuse and the Jamestown Jackals. So it's continuing to heat up, and I think it's going to be a great playoff in the TBL. The final game was against the Houston Push. This was a little bit of a tough one to watch. I wanted to give a shout out, though, to Tremaine Thomas. He was doing the commentating in this game. It was good to hear a different voice. Brandon McElvey does a great job. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think this guy has a career in commentating. If he wants to do that, he has got the ability. He's also got the to be able to speak, and he does a great job at that. So he's another guy to be on the lookout for when it comes to commentators. Tremaine Thomas did the commentating here. Gabe Hobbs got the start. That was good to see. Houston playing above the rim. Leopards were hungry on D. It was a close game, but essentially the Houston Push ended up pulling away. But at the end of the first, it was 20-18. Houston was up. Leopards were keeping it close in the first. They were only down by 5. They brought it close to 2. Mike-to-Mike connection. Michael Lenore going to Michael Vigilance. Really a good 1-2 punch on how they play. Leopards down by 5 in the second. The focus, I was saying, was to hit the wide open shots. They were having some difficulties hitting wide open shots, and I think that was causing some issues for them. Houston just kept hitting 3 after 3 after 3. Leopards go down by 13. Big Michael Vigilance being physical down low. I like this guy's play. I think he has a great presence. I think he's going to be a major impact player for this team in the future. It was 50-38 at halftime. 11.7 rebounds for Mike Vigilance. 10 points for Jetpack J. Houston Push just started to pull away. And at the end of it all, it was 110-78. Houston Push, as you can see, that's the reason why they're further along in the playoffs, just because of what they have done throughout this entire TBL season. So when it comes down to the final stats in the game, Jared Henderson with 14, John Mouton with 13. Jared Henderson also with 9 rebounds and 1 block. Michael Vigilance with 13 and 11 rebounds. That's a double-double. It's a nice stat sheet right there. Michael Lenore with 13 points and 7 assists. Austin Wire, big shout out to Austin Wire. He stepped up big time down the stretch in the season. He had 12 points, 13 rebounds. Kendall Yancey with 6, Chase Winchester with 5, Gabe Hobbs with 2. Let's get to the highlights for the final game in the Lewisville Leopards season. I definitely see them coming back even stronger next year, but let's get to these highlights. highlight Michael Lenore, number 22, dropping dimes in this game. He had 7 of them. You also got to see Jared Henderson getting busy in there. Michael Vigilance, I brought up his name, number 30. And then Kendall Yancey with a nice left-handed layup. So that is the end of the Lewisville Leopards season. I'll definitely keep you posted on the Creating Young Minds Undiscovered League. It's been a great opportunity covering this organization as a whole. Creating Young Minds, go to the website, creatingyoungminds.org, and they've really, truly helped to build young men. That's just the truth. They build them up on and off the court. It's not just them just playing basketball. It's helping them to become better men as a whole. Check out the website down below. Thank you for those tuning in throughout this entire season. Coming up next on BS3 Radio, myself and the rest of the forecast, you can see on the shirt as I'm backing up a little bit, we'll be reviewing the classic movie Cooley High. So you can stay tuned right here. Come back in about 45 minutes. Wherever you're tuning in at, we'll be reviewing classic movie. This will be a throwback edition of the forecast. Normally we do current movies, and always we review movies in such a different way that it's never bland. It's never simple. We always go to different levels. So we'll be talking about Cooley High in about 45 minutes. Thank you for tuning in to this weekly recap of the Creating Young Minds organization. We had the week 23 of the Undiscovered League. Also, we had the Lewisville Leopards season finale. So thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week. God bless. God is love. Peace.